What's going on, everybody? My name is Ezequiel Casas and I'd like to welcome you to Indigonismo. This is my channel chronicling my Selvedge Denim journey that started about a year ago and that's going to go through this year leading up to this year's Indigo Invitational. So let's just jump in. My name is Ezequiel Casas and about a year ago I got really into Selvedge Denim. I had ended up buying a pair 2 years prior for traveling, didn't really know what I had. And it really just changed my life. So what got me into Selvedge Denim? Well, to be honest, there were a number of reasons that happened over a few years. So I'll go into my collection and sort of what I've learned in that past year in another video, but just to sum it up, I realized that there's a big difference between the jeans that you're buying in the mall versus the jeans that are made selvage or made in the vintage fashion. So there's really four real reasons that people are attracted to Selvedge Denim over mall-bought jeans. One is the weaving process. So Selvedge Denim comes from it's a portmanteau of self-edge, which refers to a way that denim used to be woven. So back in the day, the way denim was made and most things that were sewn or woven is you have the threads that go up and down, which is the warp, and then you have the threads that go left and right, which is the weft. So what you would have is you'd have a shuttle, a wooden shuttle, or could be metal, and that would have a string attached to it, and you'd move the shuttle through the warp yarns, and then you would take the shuttle, bring it back around, and I guess that would make sort of an S design where there's no real finite edge. Obviously, I think they tie it together with a thread, which is where you get your Selvedge ID. So what that means is two things. Is one, that rather than it being pulled mechanically, like it is currently with current mechanical projectile shuttles, the string isn't pulled really tight, so it gets this sort of uneven and unique texture to it, which people call slubby. The other thing about it is that less fabric is produced. So that means that these looms, some of which are super duper old, can't produce as much fabric as quickly as the modern looms that kind of just shoot out yards and yards and yards of denim. So what that means, it's basically, your basic economic principle of supply-demand. There's not as much supply of these types of jeans as there are the mall-type jeans, so obviously they command a higher price. Additionally, it takes money to maintain and upkeep or repair these old-style machines. So that's one of the things that you're paying for, is really the experience of having a pair of jeans made in the fashion that they were made by some of the originals, such as Levi's. To my knowledge, some of the Japanese companies bought some of these old American shuttle looms over to Japan, and I'm not sure about some of the ages of them, but I'm very certain that the mechanics are still very similar as to, in the 1960s or 70s or maybe even before. We're talking about the 50s or so. So that's one of the reasons, the main mechanical reasons I think that Selvedge Denim is just a better buy, is that you're getting a bit more quality of a weaving process and obviously a little bit more premium of a fabric. Next up is dyeing. The dyeing of jeans is done, especially in Japanese clothes. It's a very proprietary, traditional style of dyeing. Sometimes they do rope dyeing, or I don't know what the other styles. They kind of just leave them in the vat for super duper long. So as opposed to using synthetic indigos, I'm not saying that every Japanese company uses natural indigos, but you're more likely going to get deeper, darker, more truer indigos that are going to really get those fades popping, as opposed to jeans, especially those that have already been, have a distressed look or been acid washed or something like that. This is really denim, indigo denim in its most natural and, throw that word around, pure form. So the third thing really is the durability of the jeans. As I mentioned, because the threads are not pulled as tight as they do when they're mechanically made, you're gonna get a lot more. You're gonna get a lot more life out of it. So basically, it's not going to rip as easily. You know, it's not going to chafe as easily. You're just going to get more life out of it, and that's really what you're looking for in jeans, is something that's durable and that's reliable. The other thing about Selvedge denim is that they come in a variety of weights. So the mall standard is around 12 to 14 ounces, but you can see certain Selvedge brands going up to 18, 21, 25, 35, and Naked and Famous currently holds the record, to my knowledge, with their monstrosity abomination 40-ounce denim. Now, to me, that's a little too much. Some people have said it's literally like wearing sweatpants made of cotton, which is, or sweatpants made of denim, which is pretty incredible, but it's not really my bag. So you get a wider variety of this weight of denim that allows you, obviously the heavier weight something is, the more life it's gonna have, the harder it is gonna, you know, to chafe through, to get blowouts. Obviously no jean is impervious to blowouts, but it's just gonna increase their durability and their lifetime, so you can be wearing these for 2 to 5, maybe 10 years and really getting the most out of your jeans. And I would say the fourth, and I mean, it is kind of the whole reason behind the jeans, behind Selvedge jeans and the Selvedge community, is this aspect of exclusivity. You know, you're not just somebody walking around with whatever mall jeans. You feel, as you kind of get into the community, you start to see, oh hey, that guy's wearing Ironheart, or like, oh, that's the Selvedge ID tag from Capital Jeans, or hey, those are some APCs, and you start noticing things, and you start to kind of become part of this, you know, little community. I mean, it's a hobby like everything else, you know. You pay for entry, you get as committed as you want to get, and you know, you have fun with it. So that's one of the reasons, those are the 4 reasons that I really like Selvedge denim to go over. It's the weaving, the dyeing, the durability, and I don't want to use exclusives, I'll just say the community of it. So those are the 4 real reasons that I am attracted to Selvedge denim and why I've bought so much Selvedge denim. So in the next video, I will actually show you guys my entire Selvedge denim collection. We'll talk a little bit about my personal story with Selvedge denim. All right, thank you very much for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe if you like what I'm saying. If you have any questions or any criticisms, feel free to leave them in the comments, you know, all open. And all right, see you next video.